And that's, I think most of us would agree that's generally a good thing. We don't want, sponsors coming in to with 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds and, pitching their thing. So in that case, it's almost always nonprofit. But, if you have a tool that helps kids learn math better, by all means, we need every school in America to have it. And
Sure.
so that whole thinking about how do you grow it, that's a business mindset. That's thinking, okay, how do I keep my costs as low as possible? How do I keep innovating so this product is really cheap so that the poorest school district in America can afford it, and the richest school district can buy 10 copies of it, whatever. But that they really think about cost, that they really invest in the team. Just because you're a nonprofit doesn't mean you don't need a chief operating officer or a chief financial. Like, you need all those things. And so, even if it's something like that we could call a public good, that the public needs, you need those systems and operating. You need management practices, all of that stuff, and then you got to convince government that this is the way we scale. And then, but then once you do, that's how you scale, right? So you sign the New York City schools, and boom, all of a sudden you got hundreds of thousands of users for your education software, and then you can scale, right? Then you call Chicago and LA and say, hey, we're doing this. So I think the pathway to scale is in many ways the same, but you need this infrastructure. The example I always give with the nonprofit side is, you take a place. If you're a nonprofit, you can have huge influence. You can have huge, impact over the long term. All of those things, and you can grow quite large. If you think about like the Catholic Church or Harvard University or Scripps Hospital, in California, these are all nonprofits. They're hugely influential. They're big. They do path-breaking research. But if you want to do speed and scale, not take hundreds of years like the church or something, if you want to do it fast in our lifetime, the for-profit model is the only way to go. It's the only thing that scales that fast. And so, you got to figure out what that is and how are you going to do it. And, in the education example I use, that same software might also work for people who've graduated high school, guys like you and me who want to reskill ourselves. And so maybe that's where you make your money and you subsidize the other, or maybe you focus first on the older people and then you figure out what to do with K through 12. Like, there's a lot of ways to think about it. But if you want to do it fast, you have to have the business mindset and the business model. And we do share that with everybody we work with. The interesting thing is on things like, sea level rising, there sometimes you pitch differently. You say to governments, look, you need to do this now. We don't have 20 years, to build a business in Boston that holds the sea back. And then we sell it to, people in Florida or in Brazil or India. Like, we got to do it now because the sea level is rising, and Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard are, disappearing. So we got to do this now, and we have to share it now. And so I think there's certain things, the COVID vaccine being a similar example. Like, we did it fast, right? There's nothing about, we'll try it here. If it works, we'll sell it to your discount, or it was like, we're going to do it everywhere and we're going to do it fast. So sometimes you got to do that, and there won't be a business model. They'll just be, do it, right?
An emergency. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.